Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom, back with another Disney Lorcana video. Today is Wednesday, the 14th of August. Today we are going to go through, just real quick, a funny Reddit thread, and then get into some takeaways from the D23 conference that happened in Anaheim over the weekend. We talked a little bit yesterday about just the Pixar announcement, which is what I was most excited for, but there was a lot of other stuff that was announced there as well, and so we're going to kind of get into some of that stuff. This Reddit thread was just hilarious. I got a good chuckle out of it. It says, if the enchanted Elsa isn't worth $5,000 30 days from now, for 30 days from this post, I'll eat one. The price is starting to go up. I'm confident it'll be $5,000 1 month from now. If not, I'll eat the copy I have on video. So that's 14 hours ago from Rare Engineer 2539. A bunch of people were like, hey, remind me, remind me. And then someone said, will you be eating it raw or with condiments? He said, letting it soak in Pepsi, which was hilarious. And then I saw one, this person said, I've eaten a Pokemon card before. You'll live through this too. LOL, good luck. Context, one time I ate a Pokemon card. So just a funny little thread. Obviously, Elsa will not be $5,000 in 30 days. We'll see. We'll check back with Rare Engineer 2539. See if they are a man or woman of their word, and eat their Elsa, because it will not. If it's at $5,000, then I don't know what planet we're living in, but it's not going to be $5,000 in 30 days. So with that being said, like I said, I wanted to follow some pictures that Epic Switzer put on Twitter. Here's his handle. His name is your buddy Eric Switzer. Switzer. I'm not sure. I apologize, Eric. But he had a lot of really good. He went to the D23 convention. He took some really cool photos. He took some videos. I do suggest you follow him on Twitter. He's got all sorts of Lorcana stuff. He's going to Pokemon Worlds right now. He's got all sorts of really great content. Did some interviews with the game designers for Lorcana. He attended all the panels. Has some really good content. So couldn't recommend following him more. But we're going to get into some of the things that he touched on here throughout his kind of thread on D23. First one being that there was 1 billion Lorcana cards sold in the first year, and then he's got a map of they have a map of Lorcana around the world, so kind of where is Lorcana currently, deployed, or what markets are they tapped into. Obviously 1 billion cards sold is a significant number, right? That is an insane amount of cards for the first year of a trading card game. No surprise to us, right, who are kind of deeply entrenched in it. The game is so much fun. It's so awesome to collect, like all the different things that we've kind of hit on. But you can see Canada, North America, we've got several over in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and we're kind of we're branching out. Obviously the Asian markets are going to be coming here very, very soon, or have even possibly started that outreach. So I think it's just cool to kind of see this grow. Obviously has a chance to essentially be gold everywhere. In my opinion, there's very, very few places in the world that Disney doesn't have any sort of footprint or any sort of connection, right, between one of their IPs and or is it parks, cruises, etc. Like they have a footprint kind of globally, obviously. And so interested to see if this map next year, right, where it continues to expand and where it continues to grow. But 1 billion cards for the first year, so that was pretty cool to see. Next up, we have some stats here. Over 100,000 players globally are regularly participating in events. Over 5,000 local game stores globally actively support organized play. Over 76,000 organized play events, and over 700,000 event entries have happened in the first year of Lorcana. And once again, I think this is when you look at these stats, they're incredibly impressive overall, just looking at the sheer numbers. Now, when you add in the layer that it's the first year of this game by a company who's never ran a TCG before, then you start to think like, wow, like what truly is the potential with this? Like, how big is the market share? Can this be? How many, I always talk about like the TAM, the total addressable market, the customer acquisition funnel. We're year one and we already have 100,000 people playing this game globally. Once again, with that global reach between Ravensburger and Disney is just in a very, very unique customer acquisition funnel for a TCG. 5,000 local game stores globally actively supporting organized play. I got a comment on my video yesterday from a guy talking about how his locals have begun to fill up. They've added extra nights. The release day party was packed for Shimmering Skies, and I can kind of speak anecdotally to that as well. Just with the amount of stores that are offering set champs around me is beginning to grow. Obviously, all of the Lorcana Challenge events are selling out immediately. There is just, there's so much gas on this, so much fuel for this rocket. It's really really exciting to see. And once again, these numbers would be impressive for any TCG in my opinion, but the fact that you put it on a company that's never done a TCG and this is year one, truly points to the potential that's available in this market. So overall, those are just pretty cool stats here. Getting into some of the fun stuff. Eric says here, Sonic Warriors was in the first 100-ish cards Steve Horner designed. It was originally going to be in set one, so just kind of showing off some of the artwork, right? Some of the more iconic arts with Rapunzel, Gift with Healing, one of the most playable cards in the game. A card that's held its value over time very, very well. Belle, Strange but Special in the same vein. And then we have a couple Ursula's Return cards here with Piglet, Sturdy Swordsman, and Ariel, Sonic Warrior. I did not know that this card had been designed so long ago, so just kind of cool to know that fact. Obviously, it came out with Ursula's Return, and then Ariel got her first Enchanted. Could you imagine if it would have came out in the first chapter and we had another princess in that set? I mean, that the first chapter is already the GOAT with in terms of like the characters, the art, like just how they went to market with it. But you throw Ariel in that mix and just another tool in the tool belt for the first chapter. So shout out to Ariel Sonic Warrior. Wait until Ursula's Return to make her initial debut. Okay, some exciting stuff here, guys. So the Continental Championships, you can see here, the European Continental Championship is going to be happening in December of this year, so just a few months away. And then the North American Championship is going to be happening at Disneyland in California in January of 2025. So still, I mean, December's this year, so it seems closer, but January's right after that, not that far away. So to get to these events, I'm pretty sure you had to place high enough in the challenge events or go to enough to earn enough points to then essentially qualify to go to the championship events. So I don't think these are going to be open registration like the challenge events were. I think that was kind of the point of having these the various challenge events that have happened. There obviously be prize cards and everything available with these events, but these are kind of the next iteration of the challenge events. So I think like the events we've had thus far are regionals. The next step up are going to be these national events. So one in Europe, one in North America, and then obviously as we expand this like a year from now, you're probably going to start to see one in Japan, one in China, maybe multiple in China, multiple in Japan. However, we'll see how much they grow. I guess if it's a national, it'd probably be one. But I mean, China national would probably be like a world's level event. Nevertheless, so you have your regionals, you have your nationals, and then moving forward, obviously we knew they had announced previously that we would have one, but they announced the World Championship at Walt Disney World Resort in 2025 at Disney World. So this is the first World Championship. Now they don't have a date here. It's just in 2025. This will be at the Florida location at Disney World rather than Disneyland in California. And this is going to be insanely cool. I got to find a way to convince the wife to we got to make this trip happen. She's been begging me to go to Disney anyway. Maybe this will be the straw that broke the camel's back there. Give us some time to save and make a trip like this make sense. But the first World Championships for Lorcana are going to happen at Disney World in 2025, and I think that this is kind of a hot take, but this is the trophy card, the prize card that's going to be awarded to the winner of Worlds, is my understanding. Disney, Eric says here, Disney Lorcana World Championship at Disney World Resort next year. 1 of 1 Golden Mickey for the winner. So this is the World Champion 2025, 1 of 1 Golden Mickey. I think this has potential to be the most valuable trading card that's ever been printed. when you think about the growth of the game thus far, you think about the IP and the collectability that Disney already has behind it, the fact that it's going to continue to grow, for the next year leading up to Worlds. I think that whoever wins this card is going to be set for life financially should they decide to sell it. This would be, I mean, it's a one of one, the first world champion ever to be in Lorcana, ever to be awarded in Lorcana. I truthfully think that this will be the most expensive piece of cardboard that has ever existed. With the trajectory that Disney has and the pure amount of money that's involved in the Disney ecosystem, there's so many Disney, longtime Disney fans out there with unlimited capital that quite frankly would probably pay a hefty price, especially as the game continues to grow and continues to evolve. And it might not sell for the most, like, a card's ever sold for initially, that maybe first sell after it buys, but I would, or first sell after the person after it buys, after the person wins it. But if the winner sat on it for a year or two and Lorcana continued to grow and continued to evolve and it got more provenance, I think that this card will have the highest sales number at one point for any trading card in history. I truly do believe that. It might not be day one, but at some point there will be a sale of this card, public or private, that'll be in the millions of dollars, and I firmly believe that. You think about some of the one of 500 golden Mickeys going for, I think we saw a high sale of like 40 to 50,000. That's out of 500 serialized. This is a world's winner, not a regional winner. A world's winner, one of one, world champion 2025 trophy card. This is the crown jewel of Lorcana. This is the pinnacle. It's the Mona Lisa. It's whatever you wanna call it. It is a one of one, and that is truly remarkable. I'm very, very excited for whoever to win this. I truthfully think they're going to be set for life on this particular card. So good luck to everyone who's going to be competing in it. Obviously, for Worlds, you're going to have to grind in the challenge tour to get enough points or win that golden Mickey to then get the nod for the nationals, or the continentals they're calling them. Gonna have to do well at the continentals for then however many are going to qualify for the Worlds. You're then gonna have to battle the best people in the world to then get to the Mickey. But nevertheless, that's obviously, you're gonna have to earn it. But to whoever can, that is going to be, I mean, this card is just awesome. Obviously, it's the Brave Little Tailor art, which we have seen kind of honestly consistently at this point. Seems like every set we get a new promo or we get something that has the same Brave Little Tailor art. Now, I love the art. I think the art's good. I would say that this is probably the end of that art in terms of like constantly giving us a new design or kind of an alternate look on it. I think it does make sense for the first world champion to have this particular art on it. It's kind of the face of Lorcana. When you look at when I think of Lorcana, like I do think of the Brave Little Tailor Mickey art. He was on a lot of the branding, on a lot of the packaging, pack art, etc. And so I think that he makes a lot of sense to just kind of be the first trophy card. But this is what I had in mind whenever they announced that they're going to be doing serialized trophy cards for the regional tour, for the Lorcana Challenge stuff. I was thinking like, oh, okay, they're going to do like one of ones or one of fives or one of tens. Whenever they announced that first event was going to have a top 8, I thought it was going to be a one of 8 for that first Atlanta Challenge. Obviously, it was the 1 of 500 rollout. They continued to use them for the remainder of the challenges. But I was very excited for the first winners to go to that Atlanta Challenge, because I thought they were going to get a 1 of 8 and serialized kind of 1 through 8 copy. And I thought it was going to have an insane value. Now, you put the 1 out of 500 proposition on that, or population count on that, and that decreases the value a ton. Like, it just does. And so whenever you get a card like this that has the 1 of 1, there's going to be no others printed, right? No others in existence. Man, the sky is the limit for this card. So shout out to the Ravensburger team for an amazing first year of Lorcana. Someone like myself is very grateful, as you know, I've bonded with my family, kind of starting to collect this stuff. I bonded with friends who I used to play TCGs with, 15, 20 years ago. We're getting back into it. Like, it's just been, I'm very, very happy that we found it. So shout out to Ravensburger, shout out to the team for designing an amazing game, partnering with Disney to bring an amazing IP that people like myself can connect to, movies like Toy Story that came out when I was 5, and now 2026 when Toy Story 6 comes out, my son will be 5. Like, sharing these cards with them, I'm sure they'll do some sort of release synced up with Toy Story 6 coming out, and then Pixar being involved in 2026. Hopefully some sort of synced up release there, incorporating them into a set, and yeah, I'm just excited for the times ahead. But shout out to Ravensburger for an amazing game. Shout out to Disney for partnering with them and letting them go to work and being good partners and giving us all a fantastic game that's fun to play, fun to collect, and quite frankly has a really good there's a lot of really good involvement. I don't really like the community word because I feel like that's, I don't know, I've just heard that word a lot of community talk that has soured me on just not within Lorcana, but just that word in general. I've heard it used by a lot of grifters, so I try not to use that word. But just the amount of people that are in the game, the feedback. Like, I'm constantly getting amazing feedback. Like, I'll get some hateful comments, whatever, here and there, but those are mostly coming from other communities. Like, the people in Lorcana, I have found have been extremely gracious. They've been very polite. I've had amazing back and forth. Even if we disagree on like whether I think list population count's too low or too high or whatever, I feel like the people that are involved in it, it's just a very like healthy space, and you can give criticism but be respectful. And I don't know, I'm just very, very pleased overall with how things are unfolding and how things are going. But I truthfully believe that this will be the most expensive piece of cardboard ever printed. And so shout out to whoever wins it. It's obviously gonna have to grind. So curious. Who knows what the meta will be at that point, but there's gonna be just so much potential with so many cards at that point. So many sets. Will be on set like 10 or something. We'll have like double the amount of cards we have now. And at that point, like, if they don't do any sort of like ban list or anything, like, there's just going to be so much potential for so many cards and getting so creative and so unique. I'm excited just to watch it even now, right? It's a year away. So with that being said, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video with the most expensive card in trading card game history. I know there's obviously the One Ring out there for Magic that Post Malone bought. There's some like trophy cards within Pokemon. There's illustrator cards, things like that. They're the PS or the one of one. Like, I think in 2002, the Battle Road Championship for Pokemon had like a number 1, a number 2, and number 3. Like, those are definitely up there in terms of like cards that I would put in this same like caliber. I personally just think that this is going to command such a premium due to how the Disney IP, in combination with how quick the game is growing. Like, I just think at some point, whether that's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right after the tournament, this card is going to be worth millions of dollars. I have no doubt about that. So kudos to whoever takes home this bad boy. But that is going to be it for me, guys. Have a fantastic day, and we'll be back with another video soon. Bye.